right, I'm just going to get this link to all of you. If you are coming on live for class 3. Okay. Oops, every time. There we go. Okay. Now I have to get back in here. Okay, we got one per. Who do we have in there? Okay, I'm in. Put everything onto do not disturb. Hey, Dawn. Okay, have that on do not disturb. I got a couple people coming in. Hi, Rhonda. It's just Rhonda and Dawn so far. Okay, I gotta quickly figure out what we're doing today. I'm having one of those very busy, feeling very unorganized days. Okay, so I have my laptop over here because I got my ironing board over here. All right. You hear me okay? Perfect. Where is my hardware for this? I don't even have my zippers ready. I better get them pulled down. Actually, I just got some over here. So far, it's just us 3 in here. I'm gonna run for some zipper. I'll be right back. Be right back. Zippers. Oh, nice.
When you wear a bra, do you get fat bulges, lumps or rolls? Meet the lacy.
That was noisy. I'm still setting up. How are we doing here? Are you using? I'm using number 3 zipper tape in the wallet. The number 5, you can use number 5. I just find it's a little bit thick for the wallet. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. I'm just running a little behind. I'm just going to go set up my tripod by the machine for when we go there. So chat amongst yourself. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, goodness me. I'm going to take tomorrow off, I think. I'm feeling like I need a day off. Hi, Cynthia. I'm trying to be somewhat organized here. Why do I feel like I'm missing pieces? That's that piece. That's that piece. No. That piece. Ah, there it is. Okay, if you don't have a number 3, Cheryl, that's fine. You can use a number 5. I probably should have mentioned that for this wallet, I prefer number 3. I think it's just a little more dainty. This one's done with a number 3, but you don't need a number 3. You could definitely do it with a number 5. Okay. So we'll give it a little bit. There's only 4 of us in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 5 including me. Let's see if we can get up. We should have about 23. As I dump stuff on my floor. I'll have to speak that later. Did anybody catch my tutorial that I posted this afternoon for that really cute bat wallet? I'm actually just going to cut some of this to size right now because it's in my way. Oh, don't fall. Don't fall. Perfect. Just toss that down there for now. All right. Trying to be organized. I'm feeling all over the place today. I got all my pieces. All right. Where's everybody hiding today? I am covered in Benny fur, so please ignore the dog hair I'm wearing today. Did everybody get caught up on their necessary clutch wallets? Are we all at the same point? Oh, we got a couple more people popping in there. What can't you see? Oh, the dog hair? Well, that's good. Hi, Kim. I went in and I went through the slot here and I put on my bag tag on the back. Oh, that's good, Don. I'm glad you can't see it because it's... You should see my pants. I'm wearing fleece leggings and they're just covered. But hey, that's okay. We're not going to need these today. Not yet. So I rushed out that... Oh, you're redoing your card slots? How come, Kim? We haven't... We're going to do the card slots today. We haven't started the card slots yet. We're going to do them together. Oh, Cheryl, you sound like you've been busy. So, no, that's good if you need a break. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to need that. Oh, you had to pick out different fabric. Said, I don't know if you guys have seen the magnet on the back of my cylinder arm. It says dog hair is my glitter because that's the way it is. If you come to visit me, don't wear black because you will leave with dog and cat hair. Oh, good. I'm glad you found something, a fabric that you liked better, Kim. Perfect. So we'll give it about 5 minutes. We've got 5 people in there, quite a bit more to join. So we'll give it a few minutes for people to hop in. So I still got stuff from doing that bat bag. You can see my bat bag sitting back there. I can't wait for 9 p.m. tonight when another new tutorial is dropping. I'm super excited about it. I had to make sure I didn't have it sitting out here so you guys could see it because it's a secret until it launches. I use this pen. Of course, I haven't cut the excess stuff out, excess interfacing off of these panels yet, so I'll do that while we wait. It's just Riley and I home. Coco's having an extra quiet day again, so until Brady gets home from work, then you'll hear her lose her poop again, and then again when Dave does. Brady should be walking in the door anytime. He worked till 3:30, so, and it's 4 now, so let me get a little bit loud in a few minutes here. Oh, Rhonda. Well, you know, you can always reach out to me. I can help you get caught up if you wanted. But I think you've made one of these before. I think I saw you say you've made one. Hi, Lady Kopek. Lady Kopek. What's your first name? Is it June, or I think it was June, I'm thinking. Hi, Wanda. June or Judy? I'm thinking it was a J name. Okay, we got 8 people in there. I'm just doing some of my homework right now because I didn't cut all of my interfacing out of out of my fabric here, so I'm just making sure it's not all showing because look how bad it is. Well, I'm glad you could join us today, Rhonda. Take some time for yourself. So what we're going to do today is, once we get a few more on, we are just going to do the card slots and the zipper pocket. So I said this is a much lighter course than, say, what the actual bags are going to do. So it may not be a full 2 hours today. We'll see how it goes. Melissa, you lost your wallet already? Oh, no. And then next week we'll be sewing everything together and doing the gussets. Yay! You got yourself a rivet press. You will not regret it. Hey, Jaded, what's for supper? You're stuffing your face, I see. Rivet presses, I don't know how I lived without my rivet press before. Has everybody gone on to the community chat and voted for the May bag that you want to see? So far, the Annette Swoon is in the lead with the Fallon Kaya Papaya bag in second place. The Kaya Papaya one, if it wins, there's a good chance they will either be longer classes every week or we will do it over 2 months because it is definitely a much more involved bag. But we'll see. So far, it's the Annette Swoon that's going. I've made that one before, and it's a wonderful sew. So yes, so we're just going to do the guts of the bag today. I'm thinking it's only going to be about an hour and a half, but we'll see how things go. And then next week, it'll be probably about another hour and a half of putting it all together, and then we're done. How does that sound? Sound good to everybody? So what I think we're going to do a little bit different than last week is we're going to do all of the table prep work all at once. So we're going to do our card slots, and then we'll put it in a bin to take to the machine, and we'll do our zipper and everything, and then we'll move to the machine, and then we'll do all the sewing at once. Does that sound okay to everybody, or do you prefer to like do the card slots, then go to the machine and do that, and then do the other? What do you think? The way I usually sew is I usually get all my table work done up to the point where I have nothing left to do for the table work, and then I go to the machine and I sew all of my components. It makes it really fun when I'm doing my tutorials because then I got to piece things because I don't necessarily do things in order. That does sound good. It just keeps me from having to keep making you guys dizzy. So, yeah. Okay. Sounds good. What's the difference between woven interfacing and insolvent interfacing? Or non-woven interfacing? I am not sure how to explain it. If you look at 8-0 wine, that's an 8-0 wine. Oh my gosh, go get me my glass of wine. I obviously need it. If you look at, say, 809, you will see the difference. It's not as flexible per se. With woven, it's not going to wrinkle upon turning or whatever, where something that's a non-woven will wrinkle upon turning. Like if you look even with Decaful Light, it's a non-woven, and you may notice that when you turn a bag, how you almost have to refuse it a little bit because the non-woven, the sticky comes away from the fabric, whereas a woven is a lot more flexible and a lot more maneuverable. So I think that's what the difference is. That's what I think. Coco may freak out. Brady just walked in the door. She isn't freaking out, which is very bizarre. Huh. Wow. Oh, no, she's going to in a minute. One, wait for it. Brandy, I have a question for our name tags. I see where you put it on yours. However, wouldn't that have needed to go on before I sewed the lining up? Melissa, we have this opening in the lining, and that's how I installed it, was through that opening in the lining. You could have done it beforehand. That's usually what I do, but I forgot. But because we have this opening in the lining and it's not sewn up, we can go ahead and do that. So yeah, you can see where I installed it right there. I have my tape over it. So you could do it before we sew on this part here, or you can do it through the opening in the lining. Okay. Yes, Melissa, that's where you can put it on. All right, so we have about half of the class there. I have sew on labels. How can I do that now? Not the way I did it. You would have had to do it beforehand. With my sew in labels, there's Coco. For my wallet, sometimes I would put it on the zipper panels on the interior instead. Like this will be the exterior of my, no it won't. Which one is the exterior of my zipper pockets? One of these is. And I'll show you where I would do that. Yeah, I don't remember which piece is which now. One of these will be the exterior of my thing. So I put it on the outside of it. So it'll be on the inside. But when we get to that point, I can show you. But yeah, otherwise you would have had to, or else it wouldn't be too bad actually if you wanted to sew it on right now here, because honestly the card slots are going to be hiding in this place and you are not going to see where it is here. Or you could glue it, yeah. But even if you wanted to stitch it on the outside and it comes through this side, that is perfectly fine because it's going to be hidden by card slots. I did mine about 1 inch down, yeah. So yeah, sorry about that. I should have noticed that when we were doing this. It just kind of skipped my mind, so. Alrighty. Okay, so what we are going to do, we have about half of the class in here right now. We are going to do all of the table work that we possibly can here. So we're going to be jumping around a little bit. So, okay, so Cynthia, you go ahead and do that. We will wait for you while I explain how we are going to do the class. I think this is going to be a little bit easier when we do the bag class as well. Hi, Marlene, welcome. So we're going to do the card slots, the folding of the card slots and everything. And then we're going to put them aside, and then we're going to do our zipper parts, and then we're going to put them aside, and then we'll take all of it over to the machine and finish up like the card slots, top stitching, and all of that. So there will still be a little bit back and forth, but maybe a little bit less than there was last week. So I think that'll work much better. It's kind of playing with it to see how we do. So that's how I usually sew, is I do as much as I can here, and then I move to the machine when I've run out of stuff I can do at the table. So I think we're going to attempt to do that today. All right, did everybody get their nameplates on okay over the last week? Does anybody have any questions about that? So I put mine on the back about 1 inch down, and I installed it through the lining piece. Is everybody up to this point? Cynthia's just going and sewing hers on. She's got a sew-in one, so she's going to sew it through. It'll show on the lining side, but not really because the card slots will be covering it up. Okay, Melissa's doing hers right now. Jaded, why would you blow a fuse? Yes, Lady Kopek, I was thinking, I know your name is a J name. Is it June or is it Judy? I know it's one of them. Okay, perfect. Kim, great. Is everybody else putting their nameplates on right now as well? Oh, Cynthia, there is absolutely no rush. We have plenty of time this class, trust me. Or, do you know what? We're not going to be playing with this piece today. You can always do it after. So we are not going to be touching this piece today. We are only going to be building the guts. So you have another week to put your nameplate on if you want to. Oh, I see, Jaded. You might blow a fuse when you turn your iron on. So yeah, we are not going to be playing with this part today. We are only going to be building the guts today. And then we'll be putting the guts and this together next week. That is my plan. That works? Okay. So is everybody ready to move on to what we need to do? We all set? So what we want to do, June, okay. Is it okay if I call you June, Lady Quebec? I saw you post on my Facebook group and I was trying to remember what it was. So, okay. So I'm going to do the first card slot with you and then we'll kind of go off on our own to do the second one because we're going to do two of these, okay? So I will show you one and then we will kind of have our own work to do the other. Okay, are we ready? I'm going to pull you guys down. My table looks a little different because I have my ironing mat here as well. So I'm hoping you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. Okay. So I am pulling out my pattern because it does have my measurements on here and I will let you know what these measurements are. So we're pulling out one of our long card slot pieces. And what we're going to do is from one short end, we are going to measure down 2.5 inches. And we are going to draw a line. I'm just using a regular pen. It doesn't go through. It seems okay. Okay, and then from that 2.5 inch line, we're going to draw another line at 1 3/4. Card slots always get me because they're done so different in every wallet that I may have to refresh myself a little. Okay, so now we got 2 lines. And then from that second line we just drew, we're going to draw another one 2 1/4 away. Oh no, Melissa. Hopefully you can find your pattern or your wallet or your pattern to the wallet. Okay, and then from that line, we're going to do 1 3/4. And then from that line again, we're going to do 2 1/4. And then from that line, another 1 3/4. So you should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. And they look something like that. Also, I like to just kind of put an X where we started so I know that that is the top. Or you can put a T because that first line is going to be at the top of our panel. Okay, and while we do that, I'm also going to go ahead and do the exact same thing with my other panel. So you guys can go ahead and do that. I can hear my boys talking upstairs, so I don't know if you guys can hear it. I apologize for that. They're having a good visit, it sounds like. 2 1/4. Three, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, guys, let me know when you are to that point, and then we will move on to the next. Do you know what, Erica? You can kind of adjust as we go. I will show you. So just draw those lines, and I'll show you how you can get them nice and even. I'm just going to refresh myself to see which way we fold these after this. I'm just practicing, so I know what I'm doing. So I just did the Maryland wallet where the card slots are done differently, so I want to make sure I'm not doing them like that. No, I think we're good. How are we all making out there? Okay, I remember how to do this now. Let me know if you need any help. Oh, we're up to 16 students. That's good. We're only missing a few. Okay, Cheryl's done. I'll get my, want to get your iron warming up if you're ready almost. I'm a little worried because we've been having power failures here in the city. I haven't had any here, but my light keeps flickering. So if for some reason I go away, you know I've lost power and we'd have to reconvene later, but I'm hoping we're good. Okay. Cynthia's still working on hers. No rush. Just let us know when you're done, Cynthia, and then we will move on. Cheryl's done. Erica's done. Jaded's done. Dawn is done. Erica's done. Coco's coming. Cynthia's done. Kim is done. Okay. Does everybody have their irons warmed up? Okay, Wanda's done too. Everybody, oh no, it's Benny that I hear coming. Everybody have their irons warmed up? So, okay, and Lexi is done. Hi, Lexi. I didn't see you pop in there. Okay. So I'm going to put you down towards my mat and show you how we're going to do the first one, and then you will go ahead and do the second one on your own. Okay. This is a really weird angle. I apologize. Okay. So we have it this way. This is where we started. This is our T. So we're going to flip it over. And this is where I like to use a piece of cardstock. You don't have to, but what we're going to do is fold this right sides together up until that first line. So what I like to do is find where that line is. Actually, the first time, I won't use it just yet. I'm going to fold it down to that line like this, and then I'm going to give it a good press. Okay, Judy's done and Rhonda's done. Okay. So yes, so you want the top facing to the left. You're going to fold it right sides together at that first line. Everybody let me know when they've got that. So this is kind of what we have it looking like, is like this. Let me know when you got that first fold done, and I'll show you how we do our second fold. I wish that light would stop flickering. It's really making me nervous. I know there's a little bit of a lag from what I'm seeing on my laptop to where we're actually at, so I'll wait till everybody catches up. Show it one more time, you bet, Kim. Okay, so it's out like this. The T that we wrote on the top is to the left, okay? You're going to flip it right side up, and you are going to fold it right sides together to that very first line that we drew, and then press along that line. Does that make sense, Kim? The card slots are so complicated, yet so not at the same time. They're done differently from wallet to wallet. That's why I had to refresh myself with the Emmeline way. Okay, so this is where I like to take a piece of cardstock. This is just comic strip board. Or if you have one of those heat rulers, and I put it right along that next line like this. Now you can also just fold on it. It's just easier to do it this way. And then you fold it nice and crisp along that comic strip or that cardboard thing here. And then you press it. That's okay, Melissa. You can catch up when you get back. So that'll give us our first set of slots here. So we have now folded in the second line. Okay, Rhonda's done. All making sense so far, I hope. Wanda's done. Perfect. Cynthia's done. Oh, Dawn's done. Okay, so we're just going to keep continuing in that fashion. So now we're going to fold it right sides together until we can see that next line. And we are going to fold it right along that next line and give it a good press. I really hope I'm doing this right. I put my cardstock just below like this, just below that line. So it folds over like that. If it's a little bit off, it's not going to make a big difference. The cardstock is an awesome tool, hey? Like, it just, I used to have one of those heat rulers that I could do this with, but would you believe it or not, I left it in there once and then I cut my card slots up the middle and I cut it in half. I was angry at myself that day. Okay, so you're going to continue that way with all of your lines. So just go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do my next one, putting my cardstock against that line. And pressing. So now I've got 1, 2 done. I'm going to bring it up again to that other line. Give it a good press. And if these are a little crooked, that's okay. We are going to kind of straighten it out in a moment. You will have 1, 2, 3 card slots. That's correct, Cheryl. 3 card slots altogether. There will actually be 6 because we will put this in half too. I honestly, with the card slots, if I'm going to mess up a wallet, it's going to be with the card slots. So I'm a little nervous. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, so this is where you want to go. You can kind of look at, I know it's hard to tell with the fabric I'm using, but kind of make sure, like if they're off kilter like this, go ahead and straighten them out so they look nice and straight and nice and even, and repress them. So, and then do I have a, let's see. Heat ruler is amazing, Jaded. It just sucked when I cut mine in half, and they're kind of expensive. So then you can take a card and you can just kind of slip it in and make sure that it fits in nicely and nice and even. So mine looks good. I'm a little uneven on top here, but that's okay. We will straighten all that out later. So you just want to take a card and make sure your card slots are good, because if you do one too shallow, it's going to be sticking up too far. And mine is good. So go ahead and do the exact same. Put this one aside. We will take it to the machine in a little bit to top stitch that, but we're going to go to the machine all at once with a bunch of stuff. So put that one aside and go ahead and do your other one at the same time. Oops. You know what? I just realized my fabric is directional and I did it on the wrong side for this one. So I'm just going to go and remark my lines, ignore what I'm doing, but I have it going the wrong way. So I'm just going to change this. Cross all these out. I am live, just so you know. Riley's coming down the stairs. So yes, if it's directional fabric, make sure you are marking it going the right way from the top. Unlike what I just did with this one. I'm just glad I noticed it now rather than once I had it all sewed up. Oh, Cheryl, I should have said don't use friction pen. It disappears. Sorry. That's why I use a regular pen. 1 3/4, 2 1/4. But nothing is sewn, so nothing is lost. You just have to remark it. So you can be along with me remarking right now. Now I have to kind of see my lines here. That's better. My alphabet's going the right way now. Don't know if you can see on my fabric, it's the alphabet written in handwriting all the way across. Oh, you're doing this wrong. What's going on, Jaded? Are you starting at the top? What's going on? I'll see if I can help you along. Oops. What's going wrong for you? You're supposed to have 3 slots. If you have the 6 marking, I think it was 6 markings on the back. 1, 2, 3. You should have 6 markings on the back, which will give you the 3 card slots. Oh, I'm jealous, Wanda. You have. I said I do have one, but it's in 2 pieces, and it's no good to me in 2 pieces. Okay, and I'm just going to straighten these up. And then double check that they're all the same. And they are. Yes, Melissa, look it up. It's great. It said I accidentally cut mine in half making wallets, and it made me very sad. Do you know what? I am going to take you to the machine. There's just too many steps. So we are going to end up going to the machine next. Because there's really not much more I can do at this table here. Actually, we could probably get our zippers ready. That will probably be very helpful. Where are my zipper things? Okay, Melissa's done with card slots. Perfect. How long is this? That's exactly what it is, Dawn. It is by Clover. I am just about to say that, Dawn. I was just measuring to figure it out. You want your zipper to be 7 inches. So once everybody is all done with their card slots, then we will move on. I think it's 7 inches. Let me double check. Yep. I'm doing my zipper different than the pattern. I like this way better because it keeps it out of the creases. Yes, heat rulers are very, very handy. I just use my cardstock because I wrecked mine. Okay, everybody let me know once they're done their card slots. If you are using zipper by the yard like me, you can cut your zipper to 7 inches and put your pull on. I'm going to do that right now. 7 inches finished. But if you're off a little bit, that's okay too. Erica's all done. So I'm just putting my zipper pull on my zipper just to get a step ahead. Did I get it on good first try? Not a chance. Yeah, heat ruler's expensive. I was so sad when I cut my heat ruler in half because it was a $20 purchase. You can buy them at Emmeline Bags as well. That's where I got mine from. Man, I can't get my zipper on straight for the life of me. Okay, so once you are done your card slots, everybody, you can cut your zipper to 7 inches finished. You don't want there to be any stops on it if you're using a pre-made zipper. You'll cut off that end. Just make sure you actually have 7 inches as zipper tape. Oh my gosh. You can tell I don't work with number 3 zipper very often. I'm using, sorry about Coco. You can use number 5 here as well. I'm just using number 3 because that's what I like to use in this wallet. So, uh-oh, it's stuck on my fork. That's not good. There we go. Remember when I said Coco was quiet? Cynthia's done. Okay, Cynthia, if you want to get your zipper ready, you can. You want it to be 7 inches with no stops. Okay, go ahead, Melissa. Go and grab your size 3 if you'd rather use that. Said 9 times out of 10, I will use a size 5 zipper. But in this wallet, I really like the number 3 because it's not as bulky. Marlene's done. So Marlene, if you want to cut your zipper, you're doing that now with the zipper. Perfect. So everybody cut your zipper to 7 inches and maybe my dogs stop barking by then. Okay, Kim and Wanda, are you done? Are you moving on to the zipper right now as well? Sorry, I got a little bit ahead of us. Zipper's cut, perfect. I'm actually just going to press these because they're a little wrinkly. Give everybody a moment. I'll give myself, tidy this up a little bit. Oh my gosh. Those dogs. Wanda, you're going to go get number 3 too? Okay. That's fine. Hello. I'm looking through my phone saying, can I see you guys in there? And when I'm looking down, it's because I'm watching the comments. You can see me on my screen here as well. This is my new computer, and I love her. So we're still going to need the iron for this next part. So you want to keep it nice and warm. Cynthia's done with the zipper. So we have Dawn and Cynthia done with the zipper. Cheryl's done with the zipper. Perfect. Rhonda's done with the zipper. So Melissa and Wanda are just cutting number 3 zippers right now. Yeah, Cheryl, my computer, I'm glad I got a new one too. My other computer was 10 years old and it was my brother's hand-me-down. I had it for about 8 years. I actually am still using it. I have it in the other room. That's how I'm reading comments. It started working again. It like completely died and I got this one and now it's decided it wants to work. Erica's done. How are you doing, Lexi and Wanda and Melissa? I know there's more of you in there. And Judy. Sorry if I'm forgetting anybody at all. I need to take attendance so I can write down who's in here. There's Benny. Kim is done. We'll give it another 30 seconds or so and we'll move on. June. June, how are you doing, June? Did I call you Judy? I apologize if I did. Lexi's done. Let's do a really quick roll call so I can get the names right here. Okay, so we have Lexi. We have Dawn. Melissa. June. Rhonda. Wanda. Cheryl. Kim. Cynthia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who am I missing? Who did I miss out of that? Cynthia's here. Jaded, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Marlene, thank you. See, it's terrible. I'm so bad with names. Erica, perfect. Okay, that's what I need to do so I don't forget to say anybody's name. 1, 2, 3. So we got Lexi, Dawn, Melissa, June, Rhonda, Wanda, Cheryl, Kim, Cynthia, Jaded, Marlene, and Erica. Is there anybody missing? Shout out now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm 13 in there. I'm missing one person. Oh, no, that's me. 2 are me because I got you in this computer and that computer. I think I have everybody. Shout out if I don't. I said Kim, yep. Okay, so let's move on. Are we ready? I'm going to put you down. Oh, Benny's underneath me. Yeah, I got Kim. Lexi, Dawn, Melissa, June, Rhonda, Wanda, Cheryl, Kim, Cynthia, Jaded, Marlene, and Erica. And Brandy. Yay. Okay. So we're going to go down to the iron again. And I have my little zip ends here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold them in half like so and press it. And then I'm going to open it up and then I'm going to take the long ends and put them in. These are pretty much square, so it really doesn't matter which side you're doing it from. You're going to fold the ends into the center like this, almost like we're making a strap. Oops. Darn you. There we go. Oh, Rebecca. Sorry, Rebecca. And Rebecca. Perfect. Okay. We're going to take attendance like that just so I have everybody's names and I don't feel bad if I'm forgetting somebody. Okay, so you're going to do that with both of them. Fold it in half. Fold it in half to the center again, like so. Ouch, hot. And again. My wool mat gets really hot here. And I have a, don't worry about my board under here. I have a protective cover here that's heat resistant on one side. So my cutting mat is fine. Oh no, Dawn, go cut them really quickly. They don't have to be interfaced. They are just 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Go and give them a quick cut. They'll be a really quick cut. You don't have to interface them. Dawn, they're 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Okay? So everybody let me know when you're there. We'll let Dawn quickly go and cut them. Ooh, that's a pretty angle. There we go. June is done. All of it's making sense. It's pretty clear. Stop me if there's any questions, please. Wanda's done. Erica's done. Cheryl's given me a big green check mark. Excellent. Kim, okay, quickly go recut yours, Kim. That's no problem. 1.5 by 1.5. Lexi's done. Perfect. Benny, what are you doing, baby? He's sitting right on my feet. Oh, you're done already, Melissa? You okay? Perfect. Hey, you had a full work day today, I'm sure. So we're allowed to be half asleep. I'm half asleep. June is done. I started working, I think at 6:30 this morning to get, because Cassiopeia decided she wanted to launch her bat bag a day early, but she wanted to launch it with the tutorial, and I really wanted to make that happen for her. So I've been working really hard today. You're supposed to have 2 zipper ends. Yes. You're going to cut your zipper to 7 inches, Jaded. You have, Okay, that would be because you cut them like the pattern, Melissa. We're doing them different than the pattern. But that's okay. It's better to have too many than not enough. So our zipper tab should measure about 3/8 of an inch or so. If they're a little more, a little less, not the end of the world. Yeah, I don't like the way it's done in the pattern just because when you flip out your coin pocket, you sometimes be, I don't know, not a nice end. Erica, yes, it is already posted. If you go into my channel and you hit on the live, you'll see it in there. Okay, are we ready to move on, guys? We all set? How are you doing there, Kim? Did you get it recut okay? You're ready. Okay. So now what we're going to do, oh, I got to trim off my straggler. So on the ends, we are going to slip the end of that into the fold of our zipper like that. See what I did there? I just kind of opened it up. Yes, cut the end where the stop is, Jaded, and make sure that your tape measures 7 inches after you cut that. So yeah, we're just slipping this into the fold and folding it over like so. I'm going to move you down here. And then we're just going to hold that on with clips. It's okay that it's a little bit long on the outsides of this. We can trim that up in a little bit. And same with the other side. Oops, I got some long stragglers on here, so I'm just going to trim that up a bit. And then just hold that with clips. Like so. Okay, so while you guys are doing that, I am going to move over to the sewing machine. Okay, so I'm going to make you dizzy now. I'm going to unplug this. Hello. So I'm going to take my card slots. Look at my messy interfacing up there. My card slots and my zipper over to the sewing machine. That was a lovely angle of my under chin. I apologize for that. Is this the way I want it to go? I think so. Gotta lower this. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. There we go. How's that angle? Can you guys see everything? Okay, Melissa, go ahead and do that. Okay. Guys, let me know when you're ready. I see Dawn is done there. I have my computer over here so I can see comments. Is this a good enough angle? Can you guys see everything okay here? This is good, Cynthia? Okay. Oh, jaded. Oh, to trim, to melt the ends of the zipper? Aw. I actually don't know where my lighter is either. Oh, well. My poor Titan is so overworked today, or for this past week. Okay, Jaded is ready. Okay, so we're going to do the zipper first. So what we want to do is we want to top stitch at about 1/8 of an inch right across this fold, and we want to try to make sure we catch the back. Now, if you don't catch it all the way, you can always do another line. It's not the end of the world. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oops. And I'm not worrying too much about back stitching because we are going to be enclosing these within our zipper panel when we do it. You know what? My little scissors are on the other side. I have to use my big scissors. Okay, and do the same on the other side. bobbins wound really tight. Holy moly. Oh yes, do make sure your zipper pull is on. Jada, was yours not on? Definitely make sure it's on. That is the worst, most frustrating mistake, is when you put your zipper ends on and you forget your zipper pull. Okay, so you can see I am good because I caught the back okay is on both. That's what we want to make sure. If for some reason it didn't catch the back, just go ahead and do another line of stitching above that one. As long as it is good and uniform on both sides, that is all that matters. Okay, let me know when you're done with that. I just got to test something because my bobbin was feeling like it was being really weird, so I'm going to make sure we're good. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Crash, bang, boom. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jaded. Yes, that is. You see that in all the sewing groups where people get so frustrated with because they forgot to put their zipper pull on. So let me know when you're all ready, everyone. Then we'll move on to the card slots. Oh, my brother's just messaging me. I told him I wanted to make him a Lynn sling for his birthday. His birthday is actually on the 27th, but I'm going to see him for my birthday on May 1st. So we're doing a big birthday party then. And I just made him choose out what he wanted for his Lynn sling, and he's in love with it. So that's good. Cynthia's done. Cheryl is done. This is where I always get nervous being on an industrial because I'm going to be using, Dawn's done it on woven fabric, and it either wrinkles it all up or it doesn't, depending how thick everything is. Kim is done. Wanda's done. Okay, so we are going to keep going. So now what we want to do is on all of these folds, don't wait for me. I'm fighting with my cat to get my sewing chair. She doesn't want to give it up. Oh, Melissa, your cat is hilarious. So on these folded edges of our 3 card slots, we want to top stitch along the phones. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this top part, that's where the T is, and you're going to fold it down like this because we don't want to sew through it. Kim, that's very smart to switch between machines. I don't have my Juki set up, so I have to do it. So we're going to go ahead with this top part folded down, out of the way. We're going to go ahead and top stitch along there. But I set my top stitch length to about a 5 on my machine. Okay, it's not being too bad. It doesn't mind this fabric so much. But my machine is made for medium weight to heavyweight fabric. I think I can adjust my tension on this back side a little though. Tighten it up a bit. Okay. So now when we fold that back up, this is what we got. And we want to continue with the rest. So now we're going to take these ones that were done and we're going to fold them down and out of the way. So they're hanging out back here. And we're going to go ahead and top stitch on there. Check my tension. It's looking a little better. I think I can go a little tighter still. See, this is the downfall of an industrial. See what happens here? So I'm going to just make it work. So now when you fold everything up, we've got 2 top stitched. And now we're going to take these ones that we top stitched and flip them to the back like this. They can just hang out. We're going to top stitch the last line. While we listen to the background singing of Miss Cocoa Beans upstairs, and Benny is her accompaniment. now it's not liking it. So this is why a lot of people will, who have industrial machines will use waxed canvas for their card slots. And that's only because, see, industrial machines aren't always the best. Now, if you were using like what Lauren has, an 1181, they're meant for light to medium weight fabrics. So they work really good, but they don't necessarily go through all the heavy weights. So that's okay. I'm going to end up straightening mine out with my iron. So that is what we got. And then you're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing with the other one. I am just going to check my bobbin because I think it's misbehaving. Yes, you want the pull on the zipper tape before you put your zipper ends on, Marlene. Otherwise, you won't be able to open your zipper or your pocket. Okay, my machine is being a bugger. I'm having bobbin issues. How far down is it? 1/8 of an inch down the card slots that I go when I top stitch. You're going to go 1/8 of an inch down for your top stitch. Melissa. Oh, come on, machine. My bobbin is being a bugger. All the top stitching will be 1/8 of an inch, pretty much. I have a weird wound bobbin, so it is just being finicky. Okay, there we go. Don't mind me while I try to fix my machine while you guys all get your stuff done. Let's make sure it's doing well. It's confused because I'm using a lighter weight fabric, so. Okay, that looks good. Hey, Benny. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my other card slots, just like we did with the first one. Oh my gosh. Guys, look at my machine is being a bum. It's eating this fabric up. Let me try that again. I don't have my thing to pull these out. See, this is what happens when you go live. This happens to me whenever I do my card slots because I should be doing it on my Juki, but I'm being stubborn because I don't want to pull it out. Does it, Kim? Really? I wouldn't think it would. Your 1181. Said it all depends on the fabric. I mean, if it's, sometimes I have absolutely no issues. Like this is interface, so it should be fine. Fingers crossed it does it for me this time. There we go. It wasn't liking my tension at all. No, you have to kind of play with the tensions, Kim, when you're using an industrial, when you're using lighter weight fabrics, because it's really not meant for the lighter weight fabrics. Okay. And I knew this would happen. If anything, if I'm going to struggle with anything, it's going to be the card slots. But now we're okay. Oh, Cheryl, definitely. Oops, I just lost my thread. Yes, you definitely should be going and getting a Juki 1541 this weekend. Any 1541 would be amazing. They're all pretty much the same. This, my Titan is a clone of the Juki 1541. Actually, I think it's more like the Thor 1541, but they're pretty similar. But yes, if anybody's interested in getting an industrial, I would definitely recommend getting a 1541. But keeping your domestic as well. Like I kept my Juki 2010Q for doing light fabrics, which I should be doing right now on it. But of course I am not. So, okay. Try this again. One more. There we go. Okay. That was fun. Okay, so now what we can do, once you have these all done, does everybody have their top stitching done? Mine looks so terrible. Is I'm going to go through and I'm just going to clip right where our card slots are, and then we're going to go and baste down those sides. I just am clipping because I do not want them to move as I'm basting the sides down. And then just go ahead and top stitch or baste just where the card slots are. And my thread's doing a funky thing. Man, oh man, I'm having issues. Look what it just did. I might need to change my needle. We'll get through today. Said I just made 3 bags and I haven't changed my needle. And I think Tiffany here is having a temper tantrum about it. But I'm not going to do it yet. You guys are all going to know how to rethread a 1541 this lesson. So yes, go ahead and baste the sides of our card slots in place. Then you can decide if you want to clip them. I like to, just because then I know they're not shifting. Especially when you're having machine troubles like I am. Come on, Tiffany, you love me. How's everybody making out? Oh my gosh, Coco. That is the most noise she's been making all day. Okay. So this is what we got. I will go and measure it, Kim. We'll go back to the table and measure these. Okay, so I'll take you for a walk. Whoops. All right. Oh, well, it was time to come back to the table anyways, Kim. So my card slots, I think it's going to tell us here in the pattern what they should measure. So far, we are going to end up trimming this down. So we are now to step 7 in the pattern. If you guys are following along, I'm going to just give these a quick press because of my stitching was being not friendly. So yes, if you're following along in your pattern, we are on step 7 and we are going to be cutting the measurements, cutting these to what we want it to be. So yes, 8, we want it to be 8 by 4.5 high. So these are going to be a little longer than 4.5. So I'm going to just straighten up my top one just slightly because I know I'm a little bit off. But we're going to trim the excess off of the bottom of these panels. Okay, so we'll come down here. So here's the top. I'm going to put my 4.5-inch mark there, like so. Wait, one. Oh, that was almost bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. I almost cut it to 3.5. I would have cried. So I've got just like this little itty bitty bit to cut off, like so. And then it should measure what we need it to. I feel weird not being able to see my thing. So this should be 8 inches. I'm a little uneven here. So I'm just going to trim it up. You want to trim it up nice and square. So the card slots are probably one of the hardest parts, but not really. More finicky than anything. Okay, so then just make sure 8, and mine are golden. 8 by 4.5 is this one. You do the same with the other one, but make sure you're trimming the excess off of the bottom. That's okay, Jaded. They'll just be a little bit shorter on the top. I wouldn't worry about that. If it's a little off, it'll be okay. If it was too much more than that, I'd be worried, but you should be fine. 1/16 of an inch shouldn't make a difference, Melissa. You should be fine. I hope so. I think so. Sometimes that happens when fabric shrinks. Man, oh man, I cut this really weird. Seriously, I want you to be nice and even. Okay. And 4.5. See, mine's a little bit longer. I probably could give you some of mine. My length would be great. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Don't panic, Jaded. It'll be okay. And if it's a little small, we'll work around it. The width is a little more important than the height, but a 1/16 of an inch like Melissa's off shouldn't make too big of a difference. We'll be able to make it work still. Okay. Whew. 8. Okay, and mine are perfect size. How's everybody doing? Doing okay? Can I bring you closer so you can see what I'm doing here? I think so. There we go. Give everybody a chance to catch up. Okay. Oh my gosh, dogs. Cynthia, are yours off by 1/8 of an inch in height or in width? So are they off this way or are they off this way? 1/8 of an inch shouldn't make too big of a difference, but I can tell you how you can kind of get around it in the next step if it's the height part. In the height part, okay, that's fine. I will tell you and Jaded how you can get by that with this next step. You should be okay, Melissa, because we're going to end up folding stuff around it to hold it in place, so it'll be okay. Now, if it's the height part, you will do this next seam allowance slightly different. Well, not slightly different, just a little bit smaller. But we will wait for everybody to catch up. How's everybody doing? I see, I'm not even perfect. One of mine shifted here, so it goes bloop, but that's okay. Okay, Cynthia's done, Dawn's done, Jaded's done. Lexi is done. Okay, so now what we want to do is you want to take these two pieces like this. So this is our card slots are opening from the top and the bottom, like the left and the right here, okay? So the bottom edges, we want to put them together like this and put these right sides together. So along the bottoms, you want them right sides together, and you're going to clip that in place. That makes sense to everybody what we're doing there? So the bottom edges of our card slots are what we're clipping together with our card slots right sides together. I'm actually going to put the zipper aside. We're going to finish the card slots first because I'm starting to get myself confused. So okay, let me know when you're to that point. Hey, Annie, I'm glad you could make it. We're doing good. We're fighting with the card slots. My machine was not being very nice to me. You'll be able to watch the replay so you can get caught up, see all of the excitement and the action. All done, all done. Okay, so we're going to take this to the machine, but at the same time, I want you guys to take a ruler and your marking pen because we're going to do all of this part at the machine. Actually, I might get you to grab another piece too. Let me find my right place. 8 by 8.5. And at the same time, grab your 8 by 8.5 card slot back. So we want to take to the machine a ruler, a marking pen, your card slot back, and our card slots. And we're going to do this all at the machine. Okay, so grab those and let's go over to our machines. I'm going to move on over there right now. Make you guys dizzy again. Hello. Okay. How many hands do I need? So we'll do this part here so we don't have to move back and forth too much. Put you back in my tripod. Okay, still a good angle? We're still good? Okay, so now where we clipped it, this is where we are going to sew it at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Now, if your height was different, like who was it? Somebody was off by 1/8 of an inch. Only sew this with 1/8 of an inch if you can. And then, or whatever, like do a very, very slight seam allowance to try to make up for the height, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? But the rest of us are going to do 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, not quite done. Okay. So really, this piece should be pretty much the same as our backing piece, which mine is. I'm going to quickly run this over to my iron. I am going to open up this seam allowance that we just sewn. And I'm just going to press it open, but I'm not going to take you guys over there. I'm just going to run over and do that with my iron. So go ahead and do that as well. And then we'll move to the next step. So you can have a good look at Tiffany there. Benny is following me. I don't know if you can hear the little pitter patter of his feet. Okay, June is all caught up. So this is what I have on the back. I've pressed that seam open. So that's my 1/4 of an inch seam. So really now height-wise, you should be 8.5 inches. So from here to here should be 8.5 inches, and across here should be 8 inches. Try to move you guys lower here. Let me know when you're there. Perfect fit. Awesome, Cynthia. So that's where if you're a little bit off in that height, this is where you can make it up a little bit. Dawn is done. Give everybody a little bit of a catch up. I kind of went through all of that really fast. I don't believe it's already 20 after 5. Holy moly, time flies when you're having fun. Guess we wasted a little bit of time because Miss Tiffany here was acting up, but she seems to be okay now. Tiny bit short, Kim. How much? Just a little bit? You should be okay. It's better to be short on the height than the width. So all it means is when we go to attach this one on, you may just, this one may be just a little bit longer and you can just accommodate that in. Okay, so now we're going to take our card slots and we are going to measure in 4 inches from the left. And we are going to turn, this is where we find out how straight you did your card slots. Our 4 inches, we're going to do a line. And this is going to turn, give us 6 card slots in all. I'm going back and forth. My pen will disappear. So now this is what we have. And we are going to sew from this line. So we're going to start here. You can start all the way at the top here, but I'm not going to because my machine will just eat this up. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to back stitch over top of this one, work my way down to here, and then I'm actually going to turn it and work my way back down so I know that these card slots are secured well. So I am going to start just before that first card slot. Again, you can start at the very top, but I know that my machine is going to eat it. Oh, Melissa, sorry, short. Hey, mine is about 1/8 of an inch short, still going across, so the width. Yeah, Dawn, that's a good point that Dawn brings to Melissa. Just fold your card slots in half to find your center. But you are less, Melissa. So you'll be okay. 1/8 of an inch is not going to end it at all. You'll be fine. Just find your middle and go down the center. And then I like to put my needle down at the top of that card slot and turn it. And then I go back down again. And that just helps ensure that those are not going to snap as they're used. You could also go back and forth over each if you want, but this is how I do it. So I'm just kind of following that line. I may be going off a little bit, but that's okay. And back stitch when you're done. Oops. So that is what we have, and we have all of our card slots here. They should be proper on this. We're going to get to that part here in a moment, Jaded. But this should be 8.5 tall and 8 across this way. Coco says hi again. So let me know once you get there. Okay, Dawn is done. Cynthia is done. Cheryl is done. And yes, Jada, to answer your question, for it to fit perfectly, you want it to be as close to 8 inches width-wise as possible, but the height-wise, if it's a little bit out, you can just trim this piece we're about to do. June is done. Okay, Melissa, you should be fine. It shouldn't be a big difference. You're not out that much at all. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our card slots and our card slot back, and we are going to put them right sides together, and they should be pretty much the same size. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to clip the top and the bottom. Jaded, how much is it off if it's not fitting perfectly? Is it off the width or the height? If it's off by just a little bit on the height-wise, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Like here, you can see I am off just a smidgen here. See how my backing is a little bit higher? I'm going to keep it like that still because I can catch it in my 1/4 of an inch stitch here. So that'll be fine. So your width-wise this way, Jaded. So what does yours measure? How close to 8 is it? I'm thinking you're probably going to be fine. We're not going to be sewing the width of it right now. We're only sewing the top and the bottom of the card slots. We're leaving the side parts, which is the width end, open. It's 8 by 8. Okay, so it's your height that's off. That should be okay. Maybe when you're doing these top parts, only stitch them for you at an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance there, where the rest of us are going to do 1/4 of an inch. So that'll give you a little bit more. But as long as your width is 8 inches, that is okay. Height, we can still make it work. Okay, so go ahead and attach it. We're not going to worry about the sides. You can trim that up later, but we're going to go across here and here. So the two bottoms of our card slots with 1/4 of an inch. Jaded, you are going to use an 1/8 of an inch, okay? So go ahead and do that. I'm not too worried about the height part at all. It's still going to work out. Okay, and then once you've got those all sewn like that, you're going to then turn those two pieces wrong sides together, like so. So we got a nice little loop-de-loop thing here. And I'm going to quickly go to my iron and I'm going to press out this top seam that we did and this bottom seam that we did. So all it's going to mean for you, Jaded, is that like we're going to have two card slots here. This is going to be folded up like this. It just means your card slots are going to be a little bit shallower than they would be if your fabric hadn't shrunk. But it's just really important that this is still 8 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I am going to press that and I will be right back. You guys go do the same. It's going to work out, Jaded. You're going to be fine. So this is it all pressed out. And then what we do next is we're going to top stitch along this folded edge, baste this together here, top stitch along this other edge, and baste this side. And then the card slot part is done. So I'm actually going to start on my basting side here. And I have run out of thread in my bobbin. Go figure, hey? Okay, let's try this again. How's everybody making out? Everybody's gone quiet. Yes, you are, Melissa. You are top stitching the areas where we just made that seam. So both of those folded over edges and basting down the raw edges. And then this is what we have. Then we can go back to the working table. Okay, so while you guys do that, I am going to go ahead and move back to the other table. Where did I put my pen? There it is. I'm gonna go for a walk again. Hello, look it, there's Benny. I did vacuum, believe it or not, but you can't tell. Beep beep Ben. Put you guys back in your hook here. There we go. Okay. How are we all making out? Cheryl's done. Clear as mud. Looks good. Once that's done, we can put this aside. We're actually, I'm just going to double check. We want there to be quite a bit of room on this side still. So that's good. All right. Clean this up a bit. Cynthia's done. Dawn is done. Is everything making sense to everybody? Jaded is almost done. So all we really have left now is our zipper pocket, and it goes together exactly like a pouch. June is done. Okay. Hey, it is really awkward with my iron here. I don't know if I can bring my claw over a little more there. There we go. So if you guys like to use double-sided tapes to do your zipper pockets, have your double-sided tape ready. Otherwise, if your machine does not like double-sided tape, you can definitely just go ahead and use clips. Well, this is done. So Melissa, how is your width looking? How close to 8 are you now? Kim's done. We'll just give everybody a few more minutes. We're almost done for the day. I don't believe it's already 22:06. I have a feeling when we do purses, the classes will run a little longer on some. Lexi is done. Perfect. It's really weird that I see myself on my computer here. Okay, 1/16 of an inch is not going to be an issue. Okay, Wanda's done. All right, so now what we're going to do is on our zippers, we want to take it and we want to even up our tabs with our zipper tape. So I'm just going to go ahead and snip it. So now our zipper is nice and even. Then I'm going to take my lining panels. These are my zipper pocket lining panels. And I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm just going to snip like very, very, very little bit, just so I know where my center is right there. And same with the other one. Where is my chalk? Where my chalk went. And then I'm going to take my zipper, and I'm going to find the center of my tape. So I'm going to put my two ends together and kind of fold it in half. I'm going to take my chalk, and I'm just going to mark my center. All right. So now I'm going to take some zipper tape, or no zipper tape. It pretty much is zipper tape for me. And along my zipper lining, right side up, I'm going to put some tape across the top. Again, you can use clips for this if you do not want to use double-sided tape like me. You've seen me use my double-sided tape this way in many tutorials. It is my preferred way of installing zippers, but not all machines like it. Okay. So then we're going to take that chalk line on our zipper tape, and we're going to line it up with that center clip mark, and then stick it down or clip it down with clips. You can also eyeball it, but you want to make sure there is about a 1/2 inch between the lining and our zipper tab, because we're going to be stitching with 1/4 inch along here, and we don't want to catch those tabs in there. Okay. Coco, holy moly. So everybody let me know when you're to that point. This way. I said these are going together. Did you put tape on both sides of your zipper tape? I didn't put any tape on my zipper tape. I put my tape on my lining panel. June's done. Dawn's done. Cynthia's done. Kim's done. Okay, so now you're going to take, I always like to measure to see which one is the right width. So this is for our outer zipper pocket pieces. Wait. It doesn't really matter which way just yet, Dawn, because we can decide that later. So it doesn't matter which way the zipper pull is facing at this point in time. So you want to make sure you're using the one that is the same width as our zipper pocket lining. And I'm going to put more double-sided tape along the top of that one. And then we are going to put this right sides together with this panel here, lining up that raw edge. Like so. So we have our zipper sandwiched in between there. Okay, so I'm going to grab this and my other two zipper pocket panels. What else do I need? And I'm going to go over to my machine. Whoopsies. I'm going to go over to my machine and I'm going to put on my zipper foot for this part. Okay, so I'll take what we just prepared and the other two pieces that will be on the other side, and we'll take these over to the machine right now. Hi. I feel so weird walking. You guys get to see my messy studio. Okay, we're still good. Okay, so I'm going to go out and I'm going to change out my foot. I need to get my screwdriver first. 1 second. And I need my zipper foot. Tommy was hogging my zipper foot and my screwdriver. And I like to use the right-sided zipper foot when I'm doing this. If you're using a zipper foot that's left or right, I find I use my right zipper foot a lot more than I use the left zipper foot. Cynthia wants to know how everybody's doing. Everybody's doing great, I think. Okay. Are we ready? Where is everybody at? Everybody at their machine with their zipper feet on? Dawn's ready. Okay, so that place where we just attached, we are going to go along there with an approximately 1/4 inch seam allowance with our zipper foot. True back stitch. Almost there. Okay, Jaded, you can catch up. Make sure your needle is down if you have to move your zipper pull, like I have to here. I lost my scissors again. Where'd they go? Did I take them to the other table? Oh my goodness. There's my snips. Tommy stole my snips too. Okay, so this is what we have. So I'm actually going to run this over to the iron and I'm going to press these nicely, wrong sides together. So I'm going to go ahead and press that at the iron, and you guys let me know when you're to that point too. See, I wish I had a studio big enough that I could have like my machine here and like my cutting table here and a sewing table here and maybe my cylinder arm here so I could work in a circle, but it isn't. So I have that all pressed and this is what we got. Let me know when you guys are to that point. Cheryl's done. Cynthia's done. Feels like the home stretch because everybody knows how to do a pouch. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we are going to top stitch it into here. Oh no, Melissa, can you pull the glue apart? So that is what we got. We're all top stitched on both sides. And then we are going to repeat the same process with the other side of our zipper. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Folded, I just have my seam pressed. I just pressed my seam down, Melissa. I just pulled my lining and my exterior part away from each other and then top stitched at an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Just pulled it as tight as I possibly could along that seam. Oh, Melissa, how is it shredding your fabric? Right where you sewed the zipper on? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with my lining piece here. We're going to do the same, but with the other side of the zipper. Match up that center mark, and it should match perfectly with this other panel. So these are both right sides up. Like so. And then we're going to take the other one, make sure you're doing it along the right way, the right width. And we're going to put that right sides together. Again, you can definitely use clips to hold these in place. You do not need to use double-sided tape like me. And then just like we did with the other one, we're going to go across here with an approximate 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Oh dear, Melissa, you've got this. I know you do. Is it all working out okay now? Okay, so that's done. So now we're going to fold this lining piece up nice and taut like that, and our exterior piece so they're wrong sides together. And we're going to go ahead and give that a good press. And then we are going to top stitch along that seam as well. So I'm going to go to my iron and quickly press it and come back and top stitch. Okay, Melissa says, all right, so question, how are they going together the second side of the zipper? This is the part that I don't know. We're going to end up making it into a pouch and bringing them together like this, Melissa, in the next step. So right now it's just like it's a flat open zipper, like so. So we got our zipper linings wrong sides together with our exterior panels. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to top stitch through here. So yes, just go through, Melissa, with us step by step and you'll see how it comes together. So as long as your piece is looking just like this right now, you are golden. It's just like making a zipper pouch. That's all we're doing. It's the exact same process as we do when you make just a regular zipper pouch, if that helps at all. Dave should be getting home any minute, so if Coco freaks out, that is why. Okay, so Marlene's done. This is what we should have so far. So that's the back side and that's the front side. Is that making sense, Melissa? Are your pieces looking like this? Oh, Frankie, well, I'm glad that you could pop in even just to say hi. And yes, you can catch the replay. And if you have any questions, you know, you can always message me on Facebook or shoot me an email. I'm here for you if you have any questions at all on the replay. Okay, perfect. So you're only doing one side of the zipper at a time though, Melissa, right? Okay, I'm just going to run and look at the pattern. I want to double check my seam allowance for the next step. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but yeah, no problem, Frankie. That's what I'm here for. So make sure you shoot me a message when you watch the replay. Alrighty. Oh, Benny is rubbing his body against the tripod. Okay, it is what I thought. Done and pressed. Perfect, June. How's everybody else making out there? Oh, Kim, you're having the same problem I was having with the card slots and that tension issue. Hate it when that happens. Cheryl's done. Cynthia's done. You're seamless. It's going to go together just fine. Don't overthink it. Just go step by step. Jade is just pressing. Erica is done. Okay. So now what we're going to do. Oh, wait, the right direction. All right. So I'm going to go iron these now. Perfect. Perfect, Melissa. You got her. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take the exterior panels of our pocket and put them right sides together and our lining sides like this. So just like a pouch. So the very first thing I'm going to do is where our seams are here, I'm going to match those up first. And our zipper tab here, you want, because it's going to fold over a little bit like that, you want to make sure it's folding towards these lining sides. And then we're going to secure that with clips. Go over to the other side and do the same thing. I always do these ones first. Match up our seams first. Make sure our zipper tab, see how it's kind of bending towards the lining side. That's where we want it to be going. And then clip it like so. And then go ahead and for this side, and this side, we're going to clip them all together, but we're leaving. Oh my goodness. Make sure your zipper is open. That was almost bad. Make sure your zipper is open, okay? And then go ahead and clip them all the sides except for the bottom of the zipper pockets together. Make sure your zipper's open. I mean, you can always jimmy the zipper open. I've done that many a times. It's just a lot easier to remember to leave it open. And the lining. Okay, and then once you have that all done, so we're not doing this top part, this is our turning hole, your zipper's open. You're gonna go down these 3 sides with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I still keep my zipper foot on because we're gonna be going over these thicker seams here, and we're gonna be right beside those zipper tabs without going through the zipper tabs. So it just is a lot easier with your zipper foot on to get over those points without running over those tabs. All right. You squeaky knee lift. Melissa says, if I don't answer anything in a minute or so when you guys are done with this, it's because I'm rewinding to see how the clips are going to... Oh, okay. No problem, Melissa. And you know you can always ask me after the class too. Okay, so I'm right beside my zipper tab right here. Without going through it, we don't want to sew through it. If you're doing it like the instructions, you would be sewing through it, but I can never get it to look nice that way. That's why I do it this way. Again, I'm right beside my zipper tab right there, not going through it. And this is what we should have now. And while you guys all finish that up, I'm going to take this back over to the other table. So we'll go for a walk again. Hello. There's Benny again. See, my loyal. Whoops, there he is. Whoops. Getting my orientation out. Okay, Benny, don't trip me. Go over that part again. For this part, okay, so you're putting your exteriors right sides together and your linings right sides together. I can't really show you here, but when you're going to first match up your seams, and you're going to make sure your tabs, because they're going to fold over a little bit, and you want them to be folded towards the lining part. And then you just kind of clip all the way around and then stitch with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Melissa says, okay, question. So that those ends, the zipper ends, you want them going towards the short side of the fabric, right? Not the longer fabric. That's correct. You want them to the shorter sides, the zipper pocket lining pieces. It'll just make it easier to go over that seam that way. If not, it's not a big deal. You're not going to be sewing through those at all. Your zipper foot should be right beside it. Okay, June's all done. We're almost done. Okay, Melissa, you know you can message me. How's everybody else doing? We're like so close to being done. Cheryl's all stitched, perfect. And Dave is home, I think. Cynthia is done. Coco's gonna start howling soon, and that's how we will know if Dave is home from work. Of course, then she goes quiet. Okay. So then what we want to do is just on the bottom corners of the long sides, I am just going to trim up the corners like so without cutting my stitching. That's just going to help us get a nice square corner like so. Okay. You only leave the short end open, Melissa. You don't leave the bottom. These 3 sides you're keeping closed, and your short end is your turning hole. So speaking of that, go ahead and turn it right sides out through that turning hole. Poke out those corners good, poke out the seams good. I feel like I got fluff on my face. Where's my pokey tool? Okay, once you got your corners looking good on the bottom, you can push your lining inside and poke out those zipper ends to the best of your ability. The other side. Zipper ends are always the worst. I probably could have done them a little shorter, but they should be okay. Come on, look through. Okay, and once you get everything poked out good, get your lining piece in there really good. Now, it's going to seem weird because we are not going to seal up the lining. When we go to put this into the wallet, where we're going to stitch it is going to seal it up for us. So we do not need to worry about closing up that pocket at all. So this is what you should have. So go ahead and give it a really good press. Just make sure your lining is sitting nice and flat on the inside. So it's just like we made a zipper pouch. That's all it is that we made. And I still managed to sew through my zipper ends because I'm Brandy. That's okay. It'll still be fine. Oh, no, there we go. Poking them out. Okay, give it a good press. And then you should have a beautiful little pouch. You see our zipper ends look good. See, we're just beside it. It's still a little thick. I'm using a spoon flower fabric, and sometimes it seems to be a little thicker than other fabric. But yes. And that is it. So we now have the guts of our bag. It took way too long to do those today. So yes, does that make sense to everybody? Again, do not seal up the zipper pocket inside this one. Leave it open. We don't need to be sealing it up. It'll happen with the construction of the bag later on. All good? Any questions, concerns, comments? Yeah! So, we have the outside of the bag done, and we have the guts of the bag done, and next week we're going to put it all together, and we are going to finish it off. Not too bad so far? It's crazy the amount of time wallets take. I swear sometimes they take just as long as a purse to do, and I think it's just because of the little finicky stuff, like doing these card slots and all that stuff. Leave the short end open. Yeah. As you can see, Cynthia, mine is wide open. I can still reach in. And the way we're going to be sewing this into the wallet, it's going to seal that up perfectly. Was the class okay? It wasn't too awkward? I know I had a few technical difficulties with my sewing machine, but it happens. So yeah, so no homework. That's what we got done today. And then these will all go together next time. If you have a rivet press, you definitely will be, it will be really good to use that next week if you want to. you can do the rivet, because I do not sew these in. I will show you guys where to sew. I struggle with the sewing of the gussets. I always use rivets. So keep that in mind next week. But if you don't have rivets, I can tell you how you're going to do it anyways. So yes, I hope that was a great class. This was so much fun. I'm so glad that we had the majority of the class here. There's Coco. Yeah, and I will, when we get off here, I will go ahead and I will put this on replay. So if you need to go back and watch anything, or if you were just following along this class, you can go back and figure it out. Yay, I'm excited. This is such a good practice class for when we do an actual purse. So, Cheryl, I'm going to be using just the medium rivets because my vinyl isn't too thick. Then you can figure out if you think you're going to need the large ones based on your materials, you could do that too. So, but I always just use the medium ones from Emmeline bags. So what does Melissa say there? The reason why I avoid pouches is because of the zipper ends, like my ends kind of pucker in. Sometimes that happens. Mine actually did this time because I sewed over them a little bit, but do you know what? They're going to be hidden by the gussets, so it's not going to matter. Trust me, Melissa, they'll be hidden. I said I got a little too close myself, so. But as long as you got a pouch, that's good. And yeah, the tabs are facing which way when sewing around. Do you want the tabs to be poking towards the short ends, the short lining ends, Jaded? But yeah, sometimes I have like the perfect ends. This time, not so much. That's okay. Nobody's going to know but us. So yes. Yes, there should be a little bit of an opening at the tabs. I got a little bit too close and I sewed over my tabs, which I wasn't supposed to do. So, but do you know what? They're uniform with each other. See, they kind of went in. Mine are uniform and that's all that matters to me, as long as they're the same on both sides. But yes, ideally, there should be a little opening on the side. All right. Everybody good? Give me a thumbs up if it was a good. I want to see all those thumbs up right now if it was a good class. I see I got 3. Give me a thumbs up if it was good. There's 13 of us in there. I'd like to see some thumbs up. And I'll feel good about it. You got it. And Kim, I did not. I failed epically. But I'm not worried about it because I failed epically uniformly. So that's all that matters. Awesome. Okay, guys. Again, if you're working your way through, if you didn't do the whole thing and you need any help, feel free to email me or message me on Facebook. I'm here to help. Otherwise, next week, we are finishing this up and we'll be done our March class. Yay! Y'all, Kim, I'm glad yours turned out good because mine didn't. All right. Anyways, I'm going to go make dinner. I'm going to go figure out where my husband is because he's not home yet. I'm glad that this class helped. Sorry it was a little disorganized, but yeah. So I'll see you guys next week. And make sure you watch for my tutorial coming out at 9 p.m. tonight at midnight Eastern time. I'm super excited about it. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks again. We'll see you next week. Bye.